How do you stay financially responsible as a girl who loves shopping, loves luxury, loves traveling, loves eating out, loves experiences, and just loves spending money? I'm gonna give you some of my best tips as someone who used to spend down to the bone, now keeps an emergency fund, money invested in Roth IRAs, CDs, and still will spend $5,000 on a trip. And this video is not about making more money because more never matters if you keep losing it. So I'm gonna give you a couple of my best tips. The first thing I do is use a budgeting app. I use YNAB, and I've talked about this so many times. It's literally the best budgeting app out there if you ask me. It lets you create a category for every single thing in your life. So I have a travel category, I have an investing category, I have a shopping category for groceries, I have a category for gas, my car note, everything. And every time I get money, I can put money into each bucket, let it add up, and use it. For example, I'm saving for a trip that's gonna cost me $8,000 or $9,000, but best believe I'll have the money in time because I'm putting money into that basket every single month, and I know exactly how much I need to get there. When you can allow yourself the time and space to save up for something, you don't have to feel guilty when it's time to spend it because you already allotted the money for it and you already have all of your other bills taken care of. These categories just help you to budget correctly because trust me, when you have specific things for everything, you don't end up overspending in one category and then underspending in another and not having enough. It lets you prioritize things. I actually quit my corporate job a couple months ago. I make money doing content, but I'm nowhere near at the level of making a consistent income. So when you say, oh, I wish I could afford to take a weekend getaway, you can, you just haven't prioritized it yet. And that's what these budgeting apps help you do. A second thing I do is I keep my fixed expenses low. For example, my car note. My car note is a little under $400. That's unheard of today for anybody who's getting a new car. And guess what? I ride my Jeep till her wheels fall off. I used to be that person who was leasing new cars every 2 years because I wanted to switch it up. I wanted a new car. I feel like I used to really care about the status of having a new car. And each time I got a new car, I would get a more expensive one. And it wasn't too long ago that I was like, okay, I want to get a Tesla next. I didn't get the Tesla. Actually, instead of trying to increase my expenses, I decided to buy my car, keep the car note, because I realized having a luxury car is not a priority to me. I will spend $5,000 on a trip before I spend $5,000 on a down payment for a new car. Don't care. What I care about are experiences. So with that, I keep a lot of my fixed expenses very low, and I'm going to continue to do that. We get caught in this cycle of, okay, I'm making more money, let me spend more, and then we just end up still in lack. No. Make more and keep your fixed expenses as low as you can. And that's where financial freedom starts coming in. My third tip would be, and this is for the shopaholics, my girls who love to shop. I feel you. I love shopping and I used to shop all the time. But now I made a rule for myself where I only shop if it's for a special event or if I'm going on a trip. So like I'll shop either for the trip or while I'm on the trip, but there's no random shopping on a random Tuesday while I'm in my bed with nowhere to go. No, we're not doing that. See, this way I still get to have that high that comes from shopping when I'm excited and planning for a trip or event, making sure I look like a baddie. It's also just that much more fun and exciting when I have waited to do it specifically for something special. See what I'm saying? So these are 3 things that just kind of allow me to have the best of both worlds, which is financial security and just being a girl.
I'm 54, and if you're younger and still playing with your finances, let me warn you before it gets real. Your bank account is a mirror. Don't get mad at the reflection. It's not what you spend, it's why you're spending. Think about this. If your income doubled tomorrow, would your habits still keep you broke? You keep saying you want change, but you're addicted to convenience. You can't manifest money with a spending problem. Debt is not a curse. It's a contract, and you keep renewing it with your choices. Stop calling it a treat if it's keeping you trapped. If you wouldn't post your bank account with the same confidence that you post your new outfit, it's time to refocus. You don't need a vacation. You need a financial reset and a nap. The answer isn't found in a raise or more money. It's found in how you treat $100. Don't blame God for the drought when you mismanage the rain. Hope that helps.
Here's 3 bank accounts I think everyone should have if you're looking to level up your finances. One, different accounts allows you to better manage your money and save for specific purposes. So the first bank account you should have is your standard checking or bills account, where most of your money would be coming into and out of on a month-to-month basis. The second account you should have is a high yield savings account. So many banks offer high yield savings accounts, but the purpose of a high yield savings account is that you are able to earn more interest than you would earn in your standard checking account. So think of a Marcus by Goldman Sachs that's in that like 3.75% interest range. Some of you also need to hide money from yourself. So this is a great way to hide money from yourself because most of them are online banks that you wouldn't have easy access to just pull from the way that you would pull from a checking account. So I've seen many people grow their savings because it's usually out of sight, out of mind. Lastly, this isn't necessarily a bank account, but I encourage you to have some form of retirement account. So this can be a 401k with your current employer, or you should open an IRA, which is an individual retirement account. This has nothing to do with your employer. This is something that you own, that you contribute to on a yearly basis, and it allows you to save for retirement.
I'll never forget getting my first bonus years ago and asking my mentor where are the best places to invest it, and her answer shocked me. She said, if you ever come up on any extra money, there are 3 priorities that you need to invest in first. The first priority is yourself. The second priority priority is convenience, and the third priority is experiences. Now I'm looking at her like, girl, what are you talking about? I'm asking you for a little come up. What stock should I go buy? Do I need to go buy a business? Can I buy a Subway with this extra money? Like, what do I do? I was in my 20s at the time, and what she said to me was, the best thing that you can do in your 20s after you do all the basic investing, like in your retirement, etc., is invest in yourself. Do you feel good about yourself and confident in your skin? If not, upgrade your wardrobe. Invest in a personal trainer. Invest in a nutritionist. Get the facial. Invest in your skincare so that when you walk in a room, your shoulders are back and your head is high. If you often find yourself in rooms with people and you don't feel comfortable because there are cultural, gender, or ethnic differences, the one way that you can start conversations is by talking about the experiences that you've had. And she was specifically talking about travel. Me being able to tell people about the northern lights I saw in Iceland, wine in Katakolon, Greece, the culture of Dubrovnik, Croatia, the rich history and the pasta in Venice, shopping in Paris. I mean, I could go on. My ability to hold a conversation with anybody is like bar none. But where she really ate me up was in the time that I was wasting doing things that I really didn't want to do. Paying for convenience isn't just about living some bougie lifestyle. It's about paying yourself back in time. Using your brain and your mind space on tasks that actually bring you ideas, creativity, joy, and wealth. And the way I can sum all of that up is the best investment you can make is in you.
Okay, let's talk fast finance. 1, assign your money a job before you spend it. Every dollar needs a purpose. Wandering money just disappears. 2, have a money day every week or every other week. I know life is busy, but if you do not schedule your finances, it will not get handled. 3, separate your soft life fund from your emergency fund. One protects your peace, the other protects your lifestyle. 4, know your top 3 money metrics: net worth, monthly burn, your savings rate. You don't need a fancy degree to do this. 5, build a bare minimum budget. If everything were to fall apart, how much will it cost you to cover the basics? This number matters. 6, stop using your checking account as a scoreboard. A high balance doesn't always necessarily mean financial freedom. You want to elevate, get crafty and strategic about your money, aka investments. Now 7, learn to say no even when you can afford it, okay? Discipline is not a form of punishment, it's protection. 8, track your emotional spending triggers. Are you spending because you're sad, bored, trying to prove something? Know your patterns. 9, buy luxury out of overflow, not from obligation. We don't perform success, we embody it. And 10, treat your finances like a business. Income, expenses, strategy, goals. You are the CEO of your life, so act like it. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Smart girls have systems, so make sure you build yours.
Let's talk about some of the smart money moves I made in my 20s that are setting me up to become a pretty wealthy woman. The first one is not listening to my father. I had a bunch of money saved up in college. I mean, I just love looking at money in my bank account, but honestly, you cannot save your way to becoming wealthy. And I knew something was off because I was like, my dad isn't Jeff Bezos, so he doesn't know everything. Like, let me do a little bit of research. And then I realized that once I had enough, like for a good emergency fund, I needed to start investing. So that's what I did. I decided that low index funds would be the best for me because that's what Warren Buffett said. He was like, the average investor is not really that great at picking individual stocks, so you should find a low cost index fund like the S&P 500. It has good returns over time. So that's what I did. The second thing I did was when I graduated from college, I moved back home. I was like, I do not want to pay rent. Yes, I recognize that's a privilege, but it really helped me set a strong financial foundation. The third one is not dating people that were bad for my mental health.
If I could give one piece of advice, one piece of financial advice coming from a 33-year-old who has accomplished a lot of her financial goals, just stop spending unnecessary money. You not need to buy every item that you see on an Amazon must-haves, a haul reel, a haul TikTok, whatever. You not need to buy everything. I know that there is so much being pushed at us, and especially if you have some sort of financial goal that you are trying to achieve this year, whether that be trying to save a certain amount, trying to buy a car, a house, or whatever. At some point, you have to stop spending unnecessary money. And I know these TikToks and these reels make it hard, but you have to have the willpower to say no. You have to have the willpower to say, you know what? I don't need that dress. I don't need those shoes. I don't need whatever it is, because they're always coming at it. So it's so easy to, honestly, it's super easy to develop some kind of shopping addiction if you're not careful, because between Apple Pay and like all this stuff that's being pushed at us, you can easily find yourself shopping every single day. And even if that's something as like simple as a $5 purchase, a $10 purchase, a $20 purchase, those things start to add up and it's taking away from your long-term goal. I have gotten to a point where if I don't need it, I won't buy it, especially then. Like if I think about it for a while and I'm like, you know what, this could really be an asset to my life in some way, I'll buy it later on down the road. But I don't rush to purchase things because 9 times out of 10, it's a rush purchase and I don't really need it. And you are probably doing the same thing. You're probably buying stuff just out of the blue because you see it, you think it's cute, you want it, you buy it. And that starts to add up. And whenever that credit card bill hits, it hits and you gotta pay it. And I don't want to see any of us in debt, especially for things we really didn't need.
These are the 4 accounts that everyone should have open by the age of 30. So first we're gonna start with the traditional checkings account. I personally don't keep no more than $500 in my checkings account, and we're gonna get into the other accounts of where the rest of my money is going to. But before we get into that, your checkings account is pretty simple. This is the account your money is being deposited into. This is the account that you go to the ATM to withdraw money, where you pay rent from, etc. Now to get into a high yield savings account, this is not a regular savings account, okay? And actually, if you have a savings account, I would highly recommend to close that and open up a high yield savings account. And the reason for that is because a regular savings account is earning you nothing. A high yield savings account is offering you a higher interest rate. So if you're gonna save your money anywhere, you might as well save it in an account that you can earn more money on. This account is perfect if you're saving for that dream car you want, a house, wedding, anything. Deposit all your savings into that high yield savings account so you can earn more money while doing so. Now to get into a Roth IRA account, which is an individual retirement account where contributions are made after tax dollars. If you ever hear people talk about that magical account that can save you over $1 million when it comes time to retire, this is the account they're talking about. But the mistake a lot of people make with a Roth IRA account is they open it up, they get so excited, they deposit all this money, and they think their money is just magically growing. It's not unless you're actually investing in something. There are many investment options that you can invest in with a Roth IRA, such as stocks or ETFs. If you just deposit money into this account and then take that deposited money and invest it into an ETF, for example, like VU, you'll be good to go. That's what I do. Just keep in mind that there is a limit of what you can deposit into a Roth IRA account each year, and for 2025, the limit is set to $7,000. Lastly, we're gonna get into a 401k, which a lot of people do mistake a Roth IRA account and a 401k. They are different, but they're also similar. They're both retirement accounts. However, the Roth IRA account is using after-tax dollars, so once you retire and you're ready to withdraw all that money from your Roth IRA account, you don't have to pay any taxes on it. But for the 401k, you will have to pay taxes once you retire. A 401k is created by your employer and they do choose the bank, but you can still go in and manage the account. For example, you can go in and choose the percent of what you want withheld from your paychecks and put it into your 401k. My only recommendation with a 401k is to make sure you're meeting the company's match. So if your company is set to 5% company match, make sure your 401k is also set to 5% to be withheld from each paycheck. Otherwise, you're just missing out on free money. Free money. Like, please let your money work for you.